Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we talk about one of the most hyped up things in our industry, and these are NFTs. What are they? What are they used for? Can they also work on Bitcoin? And are they here to stay? Let's find out. NFT is short for non-fungible token. Something that is non-fungible is unique and can't be divided into other units. If you think about a dollar, it can be divided into pennies and it can also be exchanged with any other dollar. There is no uniqueness. Dollars are fungible and divisible. Take the Mona Lisa on the other hand, or any other famous piece of art, as a non-fungible example. You can't exchange the Mona Lisa with any other copy of it. The original keeps being the original and has by far the highest value. You can also not divide the Mona Lisa into smaller units. I mean, sure, you can rip it apart, but don't expect all units to be worth as much once they are recombined. And art is a good example for NFTs, because art is intrinsically non-fungible and unique. Or is it? Do we need to differentiate between the digital and the physical realm? I mean, how is digital art non-fungible? If I have an image or a video on my computer, I can just copy it and send it to you while keeping it myself as well. No information is lost. It's the exact same piece of digital art we now both own. In its essence, this is what Bitcoin solved, the double spending problem or Byzantine's generals problem. NFTs make use of some of the same technologies. The blockchain is used to record who owns what and when. And this makes total sense for NFTs, a public record of ownership. I own a certain piece of information, not a physical good, but pure information like images, videos, 3D models, games, etc. And everyone can see that it belongs to me. This is the value proposition. We will come back to see later on if it really works. NFTs are powered by smart contracts and work on a whole bunch of blockchains, with Ethereum being in the lead. To add a NFT to the blockchain, you need to mint it. This process of minting includes choosing a blockchain and platform and a respective NFT marketplace like Rarible, Mintable and OpenSea for Ethereum, or Juggerworld and Treasureland for the Binance chain. Also consider that minting is not free, just like any transaction on a blockchain isn't free. You need to pay a fee to add a non-fungible token to it. You can check out OpenSea.io or any other of the marketplaces to check out which NFTs are currently traded. One interesting thing is that NFTs can actually also be built on Bitcoin through the liquid sidechain, which I want to address in another video in general. It's not really a base layer and not a second layer either. Adam Back described it as a layer 1.5. But again, Ethereum is clearly in the lead here. It's not necessarily what Bitcoin was designed for, and some of the trade-offs that Bitcoin made make it harder for it to become the home for NFTs. Next to unique digital collectibles like CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks, which trade for prices that are incomprehensible to me, there are many other potential use cases you could think of. Official documents like diplomas, land property certificates and passports could be NFTs. Digital museums of digital art, although I would argue that you don't really need NFTs for that, VR is the important technology here. There are also new monetization opportunities for creators like unique digital tickets and backstage passes, and a whole new licensing model in general. For example, you could create an NFT that whenever it gets sold and resold, the creator gets a small fee. I also think that items in video games would be quite interesting, like unique armor and weaponry that you can use in the game and not just look at it. And collateralized loans through NFTFi are also possible. There are many more things that I don't include in this list. One thing is for sure, the market is growing rapidly. If it's a long-term trend or a short-term hype like ICOs is yet to be seen. What I can say though is that there is a lot of money going into things that don't make any sense, to me at least. There's also one huge weakness for NFTs in general. There's trust involved, the element that Bitcoin tries to get rid of in the first place. You kind of miss the point when you need to trust that the person minting the NFT is the real creator of the art piece. Scams are absolutely everywhere. You can also only own a piece of art on one blockchain, not on all of them, and just a 1 pixel difference in an image would be a new piece of art, almost indistinguishable from the original.
One issue is that not all NFTs verify the person selling a digital art piece is actually the original creator. This is difficult, particularly in online marketplaces.
One of the concerns is that anyone can essentially go on a lot of these marketplaces and say, I am the person who created this token. And it can be really hard to verify that, especially if you don't know who they actually are or they're saying someone that they're not.
I'd like to give you a longer passage from a tweet thread that Gigi recently published in combination with his article Bitcoin is Time, which I reference fairly often. Back to information versus objects. Information can be shared freely. It isn't scarce like physical objects. You can share an idea without losing your idea. The only way to move information from one medium to another medium is to copy it. That's why the compound word non-fungible token doesn't make that much sense. In the digital realm, no matter how intensely marketing gurus try to convince you of the opposite, we can only use ledgers. It is an informational realm, not a physical one. If you call a certain kind of information a token, it is still a malleable piece of information written down on a hard drive or some other medium that can hold information, effectively rendering it an informational record. Physical tokens are unique composites of atoms whose assembly is not easily replicable. Pure information does not have this property. If you can read the information, you can also copy it perfectly. Practically speaking, it follows that physical tokens are unique and digital tokens are not. I would even argue that digital token is a misnomer. A token might represent secret information, but it will never represent unique, singular, uncopyable information. And so, to keep the map and the territory in sync, you need magical lists that update themselves as soon as the underlying reality changes. This is why bananas on a blockchain don't work. This is why gold-backed cryptocurrencies don't work. No physical object can ever be put on a blockchain without relying on a trusted third party. This is also true for digital bananas and hashes of digital bananas. The hash of the object is like a fingerprint. It has no permanent relationship to the object itself. There is an inherent disconnect. NFTs don't change that. The JPEG that you own can be lost, corrupted, duplicated, or hashed and sold again to another fool. You own a hash of something that is not scarce, and you cannot recreate this thing from the hash alone. You own a garbled map and no territory. So what's the end note here? I'm not so sure. I believe the NFT space will keep growing, even though it has massive weaknesses. Many people will lose a lot of money and others will become very wealthy. It's all very high risk and I don't plan to get involved. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and also hopefully learned something from it. I'm curious what you think about NFTs, so let me down in the comments below. And I would also appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for further content. And then I see you next time.